All this week we've been counting down the top 20 Aussie soap moments of 2011. The best stories of the year from home and away and neighbours as voted for by you the fans. Have you seen your favourite moments in the countdown so far? Our favourite stars from Summer Bay and Erinsborough are with us again to take us behind the stories and share a few secrets. And tonight's the night we'll reveal the story that's sitting at the top of the tree. At number 4, Summer Bay will never be the same again. It's the arrival of the River Boys.
The River Boys first arrive at a singles night at Angelo's.
Who are they?
The River Boys, a surfy gang from Mangrove River.
Yeah, they don't usually hang out in the bay.
Which means they're probably here to cause trouble.
The set was really crazy that day because we had stuntmen in there because we were going to have a biff, and we had all these River Boys that were all newly cast, like all these extras.
Daryl Braxton, he's serious trouble. His friends no angels either.
Some of the bad ones are so hot.
So Liam's singing away and the River Boys start throwing stuff at him and, you know, giving him a hard time.
Get off, Murphy, you suck!
It's just like being down at the pub with the blokes I play footy with, because everyone was rowdy, and yeah, they just captured it all on camera.
Right, Braxy, finish your drinks, bar closes in 10 minutes.
Well, the sign outside says you're open for another hour.
I think you guys have had enough.
Well, mate, you didn't seem to be too worried about that when we were forking over our cash, did you?
She gets my attention. Of course, Ada's very small and very, very beautiful, so it's why not? Good old Heath, he doesn't care, straight in.
That's it, hit the road. What? You heard me. You can't keep me up for talking to a girl, mate. Watch me.
Okay, the owner's asked you to leave. I'd do as he says.
Get out.
Then it all happens and Angelo's gets smashed to bits. Enter the River Boys, great.
That was the first sort of fight scene. You know, again, this was on the first day, so we had to choreograph this fight, and I was nervous enough trying to remember my lines, let alone trying to remember how to break up a fight and everything.
And poor Miles just walks in to Angelo's, having been away for a little while. Whop, on the head with the bottle.
When we actually had to hit Miles/Josh Contart with a bottle, that was actually me doing it. So that I'd never actually done that before in the stuff I'd done. I'd never hit someone with a fake bottle.
It gives you a fair whack. It's not real glass, but you feel it.
And you can eat the bottle, actually. It's a sugar glass, so it's still scary. But yeah, Josh had sugar glass in his hair for quite a while. So.
Charlie calls the police. Police arrive and the fight sort of gets broken up, and that's when Charlie has a moment with Brax. There's definitely some chemistry.
I just saw old Esther walk past there, Charlie, and they said give her a look, and sort of did that, and yeah, and then people were all of a sudden sort of talking about it, that, you know, they saw something, you know, there might be the new romance in the bay between Brax and Charlie, and yeah, it's turned into one of the sort of exciting storylines of this year.
The very first scene we shot was on location. It was the scene where, pretty iconic, where Romeo walks up the beach path. I still remember the POV shot of him walking up that path and just having us kind of perched up there like ravens or something up on a roof waiting for the scraps.
You live with the school teacher, right?
In Miles, huh?
You tell your friend, if he remembers who did it, he should let us know and we'll sort it out for him. It's just, we like to deal with things our own way, keep the cops out of it.
They just very politely make it clear that it would be in someone's best interest to keep quiet.
The River Boys targeted Dex because he's a pretty easy target. He's scrawny and nerdy, and he's bothering them, for one. He's getting up in their grills. People kind of on the set found out I was a little bit claustrophobic, so they decided to play a joke on me. So once I was in the boot, they put the key into the lock and started shaking it, said, oh, it's not opening. And I was like, in there, like, are you serious? I was like banging, like, I was freaking out. And then they opened it, and I was quite wet with sweat and crying.
I don't really think they were intent on causing trouble. I don't think that was like they wake up and go, how can I cause trouble in some debate today? I think they just are the way they are, and if that, gets a few people offset, then that's their problem.
No, I think they're blokes that know that they're probably pushing the boundaries whenever they do what they do, but they just think, bugger it, we're here to have a good time.
The repercussions of some of their actions, especially Heath, who doesn't think first, ever, it's not exactly the best thing.
It's not a job, it's like a holiday. But, I've slogged away for 8 years being a labourer, so I'll enjoy it while it lasts.
Ah, so that's where you got your muscles from, Brax. At number 3, we're on Ramsey Street, where the sparks between Andrew and Summer cause a fire at the Scully's house.
On Christmas Eve. Is that right? Yep, Christmas Eve. It was definitely Christmas Eve.
Lynn, basically, she's faced with an enormous legal bill in trying to get Steph out of jail and all her costs involved in her going into jail. And she can't afford to pay these, so she conjures up the idea of setting the house on fire accidentally with some Christmas lights, faulty set of Christmas lights. Now what happens is she about to go, and then at the last moment she goes, no, I can't do it. Her conscience gets the better of her. She goes, I cannot do it. So she abandons the idea, but what happens is she leaves the Christmas lights there.
Summer's come home and she decides that she's going to put another set of lights on the Christmas tree, not knowing they're actually faulty. She puts them up, goes to her room, listens to some music, and then Andrew comes along and they finally decide that, you know, they're going to get it together and they're going to be together and that they do love each other, and they end up going to bed together.
Tash is just going to have to deal with it. He took the man way out, which is probably not the best idea, but when you're young and dumb, it's fun.
While this is all going on, the lights on the tree are sparking and the fire breaks out, and at this point Summer and Andrew are asleep and wake up when the smoke starts coming through under Summer's door.
Summer. Get up.
Oh my
Come on,
God.
hurry up, get up.
While Natasha's at Andrew's house, she sees a fire going on at the Scully house. Obviously she starts panicking and she doesn't know where Summer is.
Fire brigade, please!
So she runs into the house.
Backstage on the day of the fire was intense. There was literally flames going on around us. It was the biggest scene most of us have ever done. It was so real, it was ridiculous. We had flames on us, I had beams on me lying across. There was dirt absolutely everywhere. I've never heard so much silence in my life when someone talked. Everyone was so into what they were doing.
Wow, that house is really on fire. But of course what we do is we have a team of pyrotechnics and special effects people who can, without doing one bit of damage, can make the house look like it's completely on fire. We have fire bars, which are literally, it's like a sprinkler system, if you like, but instead of water coming out, it's flames come out. And they can set those so you get in the foreground and slightly background, and that you get flames coming up. Of course, they've got smoke machines, and they pump the house full of smoke, and that, so it does. It looks very, very real.
There was a lot of coughing.
It was actually quite easy for me at that point because I was actually quite unwell on the day, which came in handy.
She had to force out a cough, but it would come out as a real cough, so she was fantastic.
It was exhausting. Sandy Winton, who plays Michael, you know, he had to carry Tash into the room and he'd be coughing and spluttering and breathing really heavily, and at one point he just laid on the ground and said, I need 5 minutes, I think I'm going to pass out.
Andrew, can you hear me? Lying on set during the fire stuff was ridiculous. You had to lie there and I had to play dead, which I thought was going to be the easiest job in the world, lie there and have a sleep. But little did I know that I had a dirty ball of fluffy, blacky, sooty, smelly stuff sitting under my nose. So by the end of the day, it looked like a dirty, homeless chimney sweep. We were literally lying there with flames going off at the side of her head. I was worried about my hair for a little bit, but we got through it. It's all stayed attached.
This always makes me laugh. You see it so often on a television or a film. There'll be a massive explosion, or there'll be a big crash, or there'll be something, and cut to the actors reacting to it. And this actually happened on the day during the fire, and the roof collapses, and there's a loud bang, and all the smoke puffs out, and all of that. That's what you saw on screen. Because we, as the actors on the street, know that we have to react to this loud explosion, but of course, that's all put in post. We're all there on the street, and this explosion is about to happen, and it's 1, 2, 3, bang.
Andrew! Andrew!
So it's weird. It's called acting.
Oh, is that what you call it, Paul? There are only 2 moments in our countdown left. I can hardly contain myself. And just in case you can't either, here's a little clue to the final 2.
They say all girls like a bad boy. We couldn't see anything. It was like a release. I'm like, oh, it's over.